So 29th of August 2025, the markets have just opened. So it's a Friday. I'm looking at a 1 hour chart for US 500. So we are trading at 6,486. We're trading in the middle of the range. We've traded from yesterday's first presented fair value gap in US 500. So I'm not really interested in price today because we are trading in the middle of the weekly range. This week has been a very perfect week. We met Tuesday low of the week. We've been trading higher. So Tuesday we went higher. Wednesday I was not really interested in price action. Yesterday we had higher prices, but I was anticipating the high of the week. And then we look at how Nasdaq and especially US 500 behaved very, very nicely yesterday. So we're trading in the middle of the range, like I've said. You can see Tuesday we formed the weekly low, and yesterday we formed the weekly high. So we formed the weekly high yesterday at 6,511, and we've moved lower from that weekly high, and we're trading inside yesterday's range. So I don't really want to go to a higher time frame. I want to go just to straight to a 1 minute, and then we're gonna look at what PDRs do we have. Actually, I'm gonna pass by a 15-minute chart, and then we're gonna see what liquidity pools are interesting today. And then we're gonna just tape read because so far there's nothing really of interest to me. So on this, in this 1 hour time frame, I'm looking at this candlestick week low here. This is this low here together with this low here that has been formed in the end of London today. So I'm looking at this low at 6,477.4. We're trading at 6,487, around 489, 490s. So I'm expecting actually if we'll see price heading back into the current new week opening gap for US 500, and we'll look at what we have in regards to NAS 100, and we'll compare with that with in terms of relative strength. So I'm going to look at a 15-minute chart. So we've had today's opening. This was yesterday's price action. So I'm going to annotate obviously the midnight New York opening price for today. This is right here. My time is 7. So this is what I normally do every single day. And it's a new day. We're gonna look at what NAS 100 does presented for us. So I'm gonna annotate also the New York session opening price. That is 8:30 a.m. in the New York session, because we all know markets operate in the New York time. So you can see we have the New York session opening price here, and we can see we had the New York midnight New York opening price right here on this upper end of this price point. So again, is another day to tape read, just to briefly see what price will present to me this morning. So I'm looking at a 15-minute chart. I want to look at also the opening range. So yesterday we closed up exactly at this candlestick. So we've obviously opened up today with the discount opening range gap. Beautiful. So I'm gonna annotate this here, and then this one also. So this is the opening range gap low. I mean the opening range gap high. What am I talking about? The opening range gap high. So we've opened up with a discount opening range gap. So that is a dark olive green. And I'm gonna take this price point here, and then we're gonna put this at this candlestick open right there. So that is today's discount opening range gap. So I'm gonna annotate also the midpoint of that mid gap. So that is 6,496.9. 6,496.9. So I've been doing this thing for quite some time now. I've been doing this for some months now. So this thing is just I'm trying to look for the opening range gap, and normally any kind of gap is actually important to me. So I'm also gonna make sure this is on the right place. So we have a discount opening range gap. Best case scenario, I want to see price head into this sell side. I've already talked about this low here. This was from yesterday at 6:15. That is from 11:15 in the New York time. So this low here and then this low here. So these are relatively equal. So this is 6,477.4 and this low is 6,477.9. So 477.4 is right here with this sell side. I'm interested in this sell side because we have the current new week opening gap resting right here. So this is 77.4 and this is supposed to be single line. So I'm looking at these relative equal lows here, sell side. Resting below this level here, that is 477.5. So I want to see US 500 to start moving into this low. So we're going to look at NAS 100 and we're going to annotate the same levels that are here. So these levels are the one that give me the kind of narrative that I want to see. So we're going to look at NAS 100. If you look at NAS 100, you can obviously see the weekly range. We formed the weekly low from Tuesday Asian session, and then we ran higher. We ran above Monday's high on Tuesday, closed up on the high on that Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I talked about how I was not really interested in any price action in this Wednesday, and you can see it was really a consolidation. So we went through the midnight New York opening price for Monday, and then we ran up higher above these relative equal highs here. So we tried to move lower going into the close, and we closed actually on the low. So we opened up yesterday and we moved lower, and then we had also a very bullish move high for yesterday price action. So yesterday I was looking at a sell from the current weekly high. I was looking for a sell from these levels here. We'll also look at that, and then we'll try and tape read what this morning has for us in this Friday. So we managed to get into this high here yesterday, and then from yesterday's afternoon session going into the closing price for the yesterday's price action, we opened up today a 0 GMT on that high, and then we've been trading lower throughout Asian session, throughout London, and right now we are trading at 23,574. So I'm also looking at this low here. Of course, I'm in a 1 hour time frame, so we're going to look at also we're going to go into the lower time frame 15 minutes, and then we're going to see that low and how it was formed yesterday. So let's look at a 15-minute time frame. Obviously, you can see we have a discount opening range gap. I want to see this low here together with this internal range liquidity pool right here. So I want to annotate yesterday's close. Yesterday's close is around this candlestick, right? Yes. So this is where we closed yesterday with a discount opening range gap. So what I'm saying is we've opened up today with a discount opening range gap, and you can see we are moving lower. So we've been moving lower from today's open, and we might even move a lot more lower. So I'm not really interested in any sales. I'm not interested in any buys because as you can see, we are not really in a very deep discount or a deep premium. Instead, we are trading at in the middle of the range. So that's really it. So I want to notate also the cost of encroachment for that opening range gap. Remember, we might not even trade to these into this cost of encroachment for this opening range gap for today. So we might keep going lower and lower and lower because it's the last day of the month. It's the last day of August. It's 29th of August. Next week we're gonna open up with a new mindset, a new month. So we're gonna look at price going into the weekend, and we're gonna come up with a bias which we're gonna follow throughout the whole of September. So we're trading at 23,560s, and I want to go now to a lower time frame because I've annotated this opening price. I also want to annotate the New York sessions opening price for today. So right there, that's where we opened up today, and today we opened up with I think it's core retail sales. Let me look at the calendar. Yeah, no, we have core PCA price index, not retail sales. So that is PCA price index, and it was right here in the New York session open. So let's go to a lower time frame, 1 minute, and then we're gonna annotate the first presented fair value gap for today. So we're gonna look at Nasdaq with US 500. So I've already mentioned this sell side here in US 500 together with this new week opening gap. So I want to see price to start spooling into this current new week opening gap for US 500. NAS 100, you can see how we opened up today with PCE price index, and we had price rally into this high here in NAS 100. So we ran into these relative equal highs here, and then we stuck around here. We've opened up for index futures open, and then we've started trading lower. So the first presented fair value gap for today, you can see it's right here. It had been formed right here inside this this discount. So this is the first presented fair value gap for today. So we're gonna extend this out in time right there. And then we're gonna also look at US 500. US 500, we've not even formed the first presented fair value gap for today. Remember, this first presented fair value gap here was yesterday's first presented fair value gap, which was so huge. US 500 behaved very, very well inside that first presented fair value gap. There were sales from this first presented fair value gap, and then we started trading lower. So as you can see here, we have these as relative equal lows here. I like the way they've left these lows here. Very, very predictable. So this low is 481.4. This low is 481.4. And this low is 481.7. So 481.4, there's a pool of sell side resting below this low. So I'm gonna annotate this here. 481.4, that is a pool of sell side. So I want to see price to start pulling into this low. Right there. So in regards to that, if you look at NAS 100, we've gone through that first presented fair value gap, and then we're also pulling lower. So I want to bring this sell side right here. So this sell side is resting at 525. We're trading at 550 now. So these are 25 points to this sell side. So we've gone through the first presented fair value gap. You can see how the bodies are closing inside that first presented, and then we start removing lower. So I want to see price head into 525 in NAS 100, and right now we're gonna head into this sell side here in US 500. So these are relatively equal, not actually relatively equal. These are equal lows. So this is sell side, retail sell side, sell stops resting below these lows. So I want to see price head into this low, and then finally head into this pool of sell side resting into below this low. So I want to look at a 5-minute chart again in NAS 100. Remember, NAS 100 we've gone below this low here, but in US 500 we are yet to go below that low. US 500 we formed the first presented fair value gap actually, and you can see it's right here. So I like the way we formed this volume imbalance here, and then we can clearly see the first presented fair value gap is right here. So volume imbalance also right here on the opening price, very, very very important. So this inefficiency here is very important to me today. So again, I've said we're gonna only be tape reading. I don't really want to, I'm not really gonna be taking any trade because there's nothing really here that is really making any sense to me. So we've ran that sell side in US 500, beautiful. So the next run on sell side is in NAS 100, and I want to see price go below this low here, that is below 23,524.3. So it's been really a busy, really been a crazy week. This end of August, really been a crazy week. So I want to take this screenshot here for now for US 500 because we've gone below this sell side. So I'm gonna dim this out. Price is not really behaving like it wants to actively move below this sell side. So I want to take this screenshot, and then we're gonna take also the screenshot with a 15-minute chart. So wow, that's really a very huge run into this now. 29th, 1025. Save that. So we can see how we've managed to run into these lows here, going through the first present Fairvalue gap, and then we ran into that low. So we're moving away from the first present Fairvalue gap. You look at US NAS 100. NAS 100, we've gone into the first present Fairvalue gap. We just spiked above it using this week, but look at the bodies, they're staying inside that first present Fairvalue gap, and then we've managed to run into this sell side that I've just I just annotated. So this low here, I'm gonna dim this out also. Look at how we're moving lower. So this is yesterday's low, yesterday's London close low. If you look at a 15-minute chart for Nasdaq, so that is this low here. That is this sell side that I just annotated before we started trading lower into this low. So this is the opening price, the Monday midnight New York opening price. So we're moving into that level. So we've gone through 525. We're trading at 500 now. So we've ran into that sell side liquidity pool that has been resting right here. So I think I've taken this screenshot. Right? Let's take again this screenshot. 29.25. Very nice run lower. So we're gonna look at this here, and then now I'm gonna take this screenshot right here, right there. So we beautifully even ran yesterday's London close low in US 500. So my interest is on this inefficiency here, but I want to see the current new week opening gap here being visited into, especially this course of encroachment that is 6,472.2. So I'm looking at this as a potential inversion for Fairvalue gap if we start running higher. So I'm going to extend this to 17, 15 right there, and then I'm going to also annotate the cost of operation for that, for this gap. That's dotted, that's supposed to be dark gray, and then it's right there. So we've run into that inefficiency. I want to see the cost of operation this level here, that is 6,472.3 being traded into. So in NAS 100, let's look at a big chart, NAS 100. So we've gone below this sell side, that's why it's dimmed out. So we're going to visit the midnight New York opening price. You can see I normally draw that midnight New York opening price until Thursday midnight New York opening price, and then I also extend it from Friday's midnight New York opening price out to the end of Friday. So we're trading it into a discount. So the next pool of liquidity that I'm looking at is this London low. I think this was yesterday's London low in NAS 100. So this is London's low. And then the next drawn liquidity is going to be this low here. So it's going to be very important if we go below that low, because we're trading at a very deep discount in regards to the daily range. If we go below yesterday's low. So this is the next drawn liquidity. So remember, we've not traded into that discount opening range gap for today. We're headed into this yesterday's low sell side. So I'm going to look at that 1 minute again. So we visited again the cost of encouragement for the current new week opening gap in US 500. Beautiful. Look at that. We've touched that 6,472.1. I want to look at where yesterday's low was formed in US 500. So it's down here. I think we have a little bit of range, but I'm looking at these low here from yesterday's trading. That is in US 500, that is 6,469.7. So these are sell side liquidity pool resting below here also. I'm interested also in that, in this low. So I talked about these typical lows here. We've gone below that. So this is the next drawn liquidity. If we still manage to go low, copy this here, paste here, and then I'm gonna take this sell side and put it below this current new week opening gap, and then we're gonna go into a 1 minute. So remember, we are trading in the first macro of this session. So the first macro of this session runs from 450 to 510. Right there. And this is supposed to be plum, right? Yes. So right there. And then I'm gonna put this in here. Right there. So we opened up right here with this macro, and now we are trading higher. So my interest is this inefficiency here, this sell side imbalance price inefficiency right here. I like that inefficiency because it's right on this sell side that I talked about. So we start to trade into that inefficiency, then I'll be anticipating price to start trading, to start pulling into this high. I like the way we left this high here untouched right here. We do not trade into that high. So if we manage to go above this inefficiency, then we'll be spooling a lot more higher. And then remember, we also have this discount opening range gap for today. So we might trade into that discount opening range gap and at least trade into the halfway level of that discount opening range gap. So we are moving higher. Let's see if we'll manage to go above this inversion fair value gap here. Okay, 3. Oh God. So let's again annotate this inefficiency. So if we go up and close above that cost correction for that inefficiency, then we might be trading a lot more higher. Just extend this here because I want to put it on the middle point of that inefficiency. So right there. So we just touched it. Let's look at this buy side imbalances and efficiency. Let's see if they will trade, if Nasdaq will trade into this inefficiency and then starts falling higher. Why? Because we are trading at a discount in this morning range. Even though we can go a little more lower, but I want to see price to start pulling higher. I like the way it's rejecting that inefficiency. So we are trading again twice into that inefficiency. Let's see if we'll start pulling higher. Remember, US 500, we have the current new week opening gap here, and we have also a sell side liquidity pool here that I talked about. So I want to see price going after this sell side. If we'll start trading higher, if I will have a position and start expecting higher prices, I will expect US 500 to go below this current new week opening gap, and then we'll see if it has an interest to start pulling higher. So we've closed in, we've gone through that inefficiency, we've closed through it. So the next sell side in NAS 100 is below here. That is yesterday's low. I think that is 23,438.2. if we leave the upper portion of this inefficiency here untreated to, and then we start pulling lower, then we'll be heading into this 440 level. I don't want to be buying this here because of US 500 and this new week opening gap here. It's really difficult to be buying it at this stage. Can you be selling it if you're talking about is difficult? No, I can't be selling it. You see, we've gone through that inefficiency. And I like the way we closed in regards to this inefficiency here. This is a weakness. This weakness. So we're going to trade into this 439.6 level next. So we've gone below this low. Interesting. Wow, you can see how it's really weak. You can see how it's is pouring itself lower. So US 500, we've gone to this sell side. I've just talked about this sell side. This low here is right here. So we've gone below that low. Very interesting. That low is out. You can see how we are moving a lot more lower. So we've gone through the current new week opening gap. Even though it's on a Friday, we can still go back into the PD arrays that you don't really anticipate. Like last Friday when I was anticipating Powell's speech, and then we had the dollar index trade lower, a lot more lower, and we even closed low on the week. I was anticipating weaker prices, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it went higher. It went a lot more higher. But when Powell was speaking on Friday, the market just fell out of bed and traded lower, and then everything else was going higher, including Nasdaq and US 500. We even formed the weekly high on Friday, while the weekly high was on Monday. That was last week's price action. So this week there has been not really any high impactful news events other than yesterday and today. And yesterday we had a very nice weekly high, and we had a very nice drop, especially in US 500 from the first present February gap. This was the first present February gap for yesterday. We had a very nice drop from that first present February gap, and we traded lower. I was trading Nasdaq. I had 2 trades on Nasdaq, but I got stopped out trying to sell it. But at last it went lower. You know, those kind of situations can really be tricky. They can really be tricky and frustrating. So let's look at this inefficiency here. So I will only be interested in this inefficiency if we start if we close above it. So we've gone through it. Very nice. And I like the fact that we ran this low here. So anybody who was trying to buy it earlier, they got stopped. They've just been stopped out right here. So honestly speaking, I want to see NAS1 to start running through this inefficiency, and then we'll see whether we'll have higher prices. Even though we have yesterday's low here, it's better if it goes below yesterday's low, and then we'll see whether we'll have higher prices. So that yesterday's low is lying at 23,437. So it's right here, and you can see it's right here. That is yesterday's low. These are 15-minute chart. These are daily delineations. So we have yesterday's low here, and it's right here. So close right here. So we've just started the silver bullet time period, and you can see that volatility that is coming into the marketplace. So we've not really closed above these inefficiency here. I want to also annotate this sell-side imbalance bias inefficiency in US 500. Let's extend this to 515. So the opening range is set. The opening range is set. We're trading at a discount, obviously, you can all see. And basically, it's Friday. We're trading in the middle of the range. It's good to look for higher prices today. So you can see how we moved away from that inversion fair value gap here. So that is this is strength. This is an indication of strength. So we've ran this low here. We've not taken out yesterday's low. It's very crazy. Sometimes price behaves that way. Sometimes it behaves that way. You can expect a daily low to be taken out, and then it doesn't go below it. So I want to see price starting to find support above this inefficiency here. We have a volume imbalance here on the cost of quotient for that inefficiency. So I want to see it to start trading higher from this inefficiency. So remember, we have that yesterday's low here. If we trade below this inefficiency, then we might also be reaching into this low. I want to extend this to 25. Very important PDRAs. You can see where we've closed, swing high here with the bodies. Now I want to see these 440 level being traded to. So if you look at US 500, we've touched this inefficiency. If you look at here, we went through this gap here. I was really anticipating this gap to start acting as an inversion, but you can obviously see we've gone through it. And right, this candlestick here that is closing through that gap it's really difficult now to be long. It's difficult to be long. Let's look at a 1 hour chart for NAS 100. So this silver bullet hour has just started. Right here, we are 3 minutes into this into this silver bullet time period. So I've talked about yesterday's low. I like the way yesterday's low is right here, and that's a huge pool of liquidity. Interbank liquidity pools are daily lows. Daily lows get attacked every single time, and when price is trading close to a daily low, just expect it one way or the other to be traded to. And right now we are moving lower. So we're still moving lower, and this 440 level is going to be traded into right now. US 500, we've traded even lower. We've gone through the midnight New York opening price for Monday. We're trading at 6,463 now. We've moved away from 480s. We're trading at 460s. NAS 100, we're trading at 450s. 440 is so close. 10 points. 10 points is gonna jump into those 10 points and even go below, even further away, like 20 or 30 points below this low here. And you can see how in US 500 this is even moving lower. So we have a new week opening gap here in US 500. That is last week's new week opening gap. This is the current new week opening gap, and then this is last week's new week opening gap. NAS 100, we've touched that 440 level. Beautiful run into that sell side. And you can see how I talked about this inefficiency, how it's behaving. And we've moved below that daily low. I've talked about how daily lows are huge pools of liquidity, and they are interbank pools of liquidity. They get attacked a lot. They get attacked a lot most of the time. So very nice, beautiful run into that sell side. So I want to look at US 500 also. So US 500, we've gone below yesterday's low. Let me just annotate that low here because it's very important. So I'm looking for any reason to start going higher. I'm looking for any reason for higher prices now. So that sell side is out. Very nice run into yesterday's low. So best case scenario for US 500, I want to see it run into last week's new week opening gap. I want to take this screenshot, and also I want to annotate this, not annotate really, but I want to take this screenshot. Nice run lower. So in NAS 100 also, I want to annotate this as sales liquidity yesterday's low. Right there. And then we're going to take this screenshot also. Very nice run low. So I'm looking for a daily low, and then I'm going to look for something like a buy from that daily low. So we've gone lower. Where price just opened up, and then we've just been trading lower for this whole morning session. So we've touched last week's new week opening gap in US 500. In NAS 100, we're still trading lower. So let's see if we'll get a huge movement lower, another run lower. So any sell side liquidity pool that I'm looking at now is this low here together with this low here. That is this is Wednesday, Tuesday. So Wednesday is low. This is also a sell side liquidity pool here. So I'm looking at that, and then I'm looking at Tuesday's morning sessions low. That is 23,373 right here. So these to me are relatively equal lows, and we're going to run into these lows now. In US 500, I'm looking at Wednesday's low also. So that's also a daily low, and I'm anticipating price to start spooling into those liquidity pools. So we are inside the silver bullet, and we're inside the first macro of this session. The problem is we're trading lower, and we've gone below the midnight New York opening price for Monday. So basically, we're trading at a discount in terms of the daily range, in terms of the session range. It's really a rare circumstance prices go this low and then they keep going low and low and lower, especially now that we've only had PCE price index. I want to see kind of like a return back into the range because we are so much on a discount in terms of the daily range, in terms of the session range. So we're trading at 23,400. I think we've been around 23,000 for a couple of days now. US 500, we're trading at 6,454.9 or 54.9. We're trading above last week's new week opening gap. So let's see if we'll start spooling higher. So 420s in NAS 100. So US 500, by the way, we traded yesterday into all-time highs. US 500, but NAS 100 we've not traded into all-time highs because it's still in the middle of the range. It's in the middle of the range from a higher time frame perspective. Higher time frame daily chart, we're trading in the middle of the range. Yesterday in NAS 100, I talked about a 4-hour chart. I talked about how we were looking for price to trade higher in that 4-hour chart because of a sell-side imbalance, buy-side efficiency that was open, and buy-side had not been offered through that inefficiency, and we went through it. Even though I was looking for lower prices in the morning session, but for the majority part of yesterday's trading was higher prices. So in both indices, we made the weekly high yesterday. Very, very beautiful, narrative. So it's 23rd. We're trading at 23,000 into 23rd. 23,392 now. I want to see US 500 go through that discontinued week opening gap, that 6,450 level. I want to see it go. I want to see it go through it. So we are very weak again. You can see how price is making majority of the candlestick that are being formed are down close candlestick. So this is weakness. So after we ran into the first position of a value gap, we left it. We have not really had any retracement except this one here. It's really difficult for me to be selling something like this here because we're trading below the opening price, midnight New York opening price for today. We're trading below the New York session mid opening price. We're trading below the index futures opening price, and it's really difficult for me to be going short at that thing, something like this. Instead, I can anticipate price to start trading through this here, and then I can be going long, aiming for this premium. That's how I trade. That's how I trade. But price must show me that it wants to do it. It wants to trade higher so that I can be going long. So we just opened up and we've managed to trade a lot lower. We've not really made any price swing higher. So I'm waiting for something like 520s to 530s, and then we'll start seeing if this high here will be taken out. So we're trading higher for 416 now. Remember, I was talking about 440, and we've gone below 440, and we've gone even into 300s in NAS 100. So US 500, we're trading at 455, 6,455. Breakout, that is making money today. Breakout artists, they are making money. They are making bank, bro. They're thinking this thing is gonna go to the ground. They're making money, money, money. So once we broke out this here, something like somebody like Willand, once we broke out of this range, he's looking for weakness. He's looking for a continuation lower. But I'm not. I'm looking for deep discount to be buying from, and I'm looking for a premium to be selling from. So You must be patient to really know and anticipate those deep premiums and or discounts. So we're still trading lower. We've traded into 23,393 now. Let's see if we'll reach into 390s in NAS 100. US 500, I want to see price go through that this new week opening gap. That cause of encroachment, that is 451. I want to see it trade into 450, and there we go. So we've gone through that inefficiency. We trade into this low. So inside the first macro, all we've done is just trade lower and lower and lower. No, some days also behave like this. Some days behave exactly like this. So we are still weak. 390s, 450s. Very interesting. So we're coming back. We are coming back into the range. We're trading at 415, 417. We've moved from 390s. We're trading at 418s now. So I'll only be here in this silver bullet time period. I already said I don't really have an interest in price action today. I'm not. I'm just gonna see what price has to offer because we've opened up. The markets are open. The markets are open. People are trading. People want to make money. So I must look at what is happening. I must talk about it. I must speculate what is happening. What is happening? Where are we trading at? So from where we've opened up today at 23,606, around 600, we are 200 points lower. We're 200 points down today, and it's just barely what less than an hour. Less than an hour, we are 200 points down. You see, we are back at 390s again. NAS 100. So we've gone into a consolidation. Actually, we are consolidating. 20,400s and 6,450s. Let's look at a 1 hour chart for NAS 100. So we've gone through these buy-side balances and efficiency from the daily chart. So this is the inefficiency that I was talking about here with yesterday's price action. So this was yesterday, the 4 o'clock candlestick in the New York session. That's really the opening price for index futures. So this candlestick opens up at 4. and closes up at 8, right? So this is the whole morning session for yesterday's price action. So we opened up, start trading lower, and then we offer buy side through this inefficiency here, and then we close up on the high. Beautiful run higher. So we made the weekly high, the daily, but the weekly high here, and then we've been trading lower from yesterday's close, or rather from yesterday's afternoon session, and we are now trading. We've now gone below this low, that is yesterday's low. Beautiful, right? So we're moving higher. We're moving at 23,432 now. This is not really interesting price action to be going long. I need a lot more volatility for me to be a participant of a long here. So looking at a 1 hour chart for that, now is 100. So you can see we've gone below yesterday's low. You see we are trading above again that yesterday's low. We've gone below this that is Wednesday's low also. So Wednesday's low has been below 23,384. So 23,384 is right there. So we've just popped Wednesday's low. We're trading at a deep discount, and we've come off of the lows here, and we're trading higher now. So let's look at this buy side imbalances and efficiency. Let's see if we'll start finding support, and then we'll start trading into this high. I want to see this high here being taken out, because from where we opened up, we've just been trading lower. So let's watch this inefficiency here. US 500, we've moved away from this last week's new week opening gap. I like the way we've been trading on the upper portion of this new week opening gap. So let's see if we'll start heading back into again this current week new week opening gap. So let's extend this out to in time. I want to extend this to, let's say, 45 there. So we have this is the first high that is currently at price. So where is the sales? I mean, where's the buy side? Buy side is right here. So let's watch this inefficiency here. This can be our silver bullet for today. So you can see how we managed to get into that inefficiency. I want to see price leaving it, and it has left it. You see that? That's now interesting. So from this candlestick slow, that is 23,431.5 or 31.5, we've moved away. Very interesting. And you can see price has not really spent a lot of time inside this inefficiency. It's just an entry and then a movement higher. So these here is a candidate, not really, is a candidate for a silver bullet right there. In US 500, it's right here. So I want to see higher prices still. Let's look at a 15-minute chart. So we're trading below the opening price. We're trading below even Monday's midnight New York opening price. So these are deep discounts in terms of today's range, in terms of this session's range. So these are deep discounts. So we're trading below the open prices. We've made a little bit of consolidation here, and we started moving higher. So we have a buy side imbalances and efficiency. So I want to see higher prices. So this, on top of this inefficiency here, that is 23,431.7, 431.7, that's a buy. And then you can hold on to even this inefficiency here. Ideally, you want to see this buy side here. This here being ran into. right there. In US 500, this is the buy side right here. So US 500, we're spending a lot of time inside this inefficiency. It's really making me to second guess it. So we've touched it one more time. So obviously, you know what we anticipate with the inefficiencies. I don't really anticipate an inefficiency that I'm looking at. I don't really anticipate price to go through it, and you can obviously see we're going through it. So this is weakness. This is something that obviously, if I were to be looking at as an entry, I could not be anticipating price to go through it the way it is going through it. One reason why we've been spending a lot of time on around this area. I like to see price get into an inefficiency like this here and leave immediately and never really trade into that inefficiency again. So we've gone through that inefficiency. You can see how weak we are. I want to see price running into this low. One sign that I was not really confident about this inefficiency is this 15-minute time frame, and you can see how we are really weak. So we've gone through that inefficiency. We've closed below it. I'm no longer interested in that inefficiency. So there's a very, very small inefficiency here, actually. This candlestick's high, that is 23,399. This candlestick's low, that is 23,400. So a 1 point buy side imbalances and efficiency. We got into that and we started moving higher. So let's see if they will have an interest to run this low here again. Remember, I talked about how I don't really have an interest in price action this morning. I'm gonna be just tape reading and look at what I will normally anticipate as a buy or a sell, and how it's behaving inside these conditions. Yesterday, I was interested in price action yesterday, and it was really nice. It was really phenomenal. So we started trading higher. Let's see if we'll go through this inefficiency here and find support above it, or we'll find again weakness from this inefficiency and start trading into this sell side. But I want to see price run into this buy side. There's an interest in this buy side. So we're trading at 23,417. Let's look at a 5-minute chart actually. So if we look at this 5-minute, we've been trading low. It's not really a different price action. It's just similar, same price action, but in a 5-minute chart. So we've been trading low. We have this 5-minute inefficiency here. There's a very small one here, but I don't really like that one. So let's see if this inefficiency here will act as an inversion fair value gap. So my interest is on this 1-minute buy side imbalances and efficiency. So you can see we've gone from this low here, we've gone higher, we've traded lower. If I were to buy this inefficiency, actually my stop would have been below this candlestick low here. That is where my stop could have been, right here. So from this candlestick low, that is 23,396.2. So from 396, normally I risk 15 points. So that is where your buy should have been. This is where your buy should have been, right here at 411, and then your stop right there at 396, right here. So we've gone through that this price action here. Let's see if we'll start finding support above this inefficiency here once more. So we've traded into that. We've traded through that inefficiency. We've come back into it. We've traded to the top of that inefficiency. I want to see now price starting to spool into this high here and this finally this buy side. This is shady price action. This is shady price action. Don't like it. So from again from this high to this low here, remember those are 33 points. If I were to risk, let's say I were to risk what, $30, that I could be risking $1 per point, and that's the only thing that I could be doing today. And then you anticipate price to move higher. So we've touched that this level here, that is 432, and we've moved away. You can see where we've closed with this candlestick here. That's interesting. So US 500, I don't really like US 500 because it can really slip through this inefficiency again and trade into this new week opening gap. So if I could be interested in a trade today, I could be buying NAS 100. So NAS 100 is 23,432.4. That's a buy. But the problem is we're trading inside the range. It's not really a very deep discount because we formed the weekly low on Tuesday. We formed the weekly low on Tuesday, right here. But the interesting thing is we are trading at a discount still, even in today's this range here. We're trading at this is a deep discount. The problem is we are not moving. We are not moving. I mean, we might move longer term, but right now we are stuck inside this range here. So I want to see price moving into this inefficiency here. You see, we are back again inside this range, something that I could not really anticipate. So don't forget, we're inside a silver bullet time period. So we're moving iron. We're trading at 456 now. So if you could be in a buy at 430, it could be 25 points in, and then stop loss comes to break even. So you can see how we moved into this discount here. So we don't really have any impactful news for the remainder of today. Remember, next week we're starting a new month. So next week is we have a bank holiday on Monday, but the whole of next week we'll have NFP, obviously ADP on Wednesday. Is there NFP next week? Yes, it's there. So obviously ADP on Wednesday, 3:15, supposed to be ADP here. And then on that same Wednesday, we have JOLTS job openings. Then on Thursday, we'll have unemployment claims. And then on Friday, we'll have NFP. Everybody is waiting for NFP, bro. Even me, I'm waiting for NFP. Non-farm employment change. A news event where people try to make it or lose it. So we are stuck around again 23,442. High resistance. So we're trading back into this basic. Let's watch how it will behave around this buy side imbalances and efficiency. So we've touched it. Look at that reaction. Interesting. Let's look at this BC also in US 500. That's quite a nice reaction from that BC. So this candlestick here is this low. That is 23,431.5. And this candlestick's low is 431.9. So 431.5, 431.9. We never touched 0.5, but we've seen a very nice reaction from that gap. Swing low here, beautiful. So I want to see price spooling higher. We're trading at 450, 20,450. We're still moving higher. But price is not really excitingly moving higher like it was moving from the open. It's not. So, well, I'm looking for something like a buy model. So we opened up and sold it lower, until lower, and right now we're finding somewhat strength. So that's a nice reaction from that inefficiency, and we moved higher. So we're trading at 460 now, 457. US 500, 462.2 now. So I'm actually interested in this silver bullet. So I'll be off when we get into London close. So very nice buy side imbalances and efficiency away from this inefficiency. Let's see if we'll get into this inefficiency here. So I'm interested in this one here. Let's take a look at this here in NAS 100. So this ideally, this is a very nice reaction from this inefficiency. So for me, this could be a buy now. This right here. So this candlestick slow, that is 455.2, and then the stop is going to, so 455, the stop is going to 431. So 455, 431, that is 24 points. 24 points, you want to be risking, less than $50, or yeah, less than $50, then you want to be risking like 2 points. 2 points, that's a $42. Yeah, $42, and then you want to be aiming for this buy side for 42 for 80 something. So that's right there. That's a buy for me. That right there is a buy for me. Not for anyone, but for me. You see, we're moving higher. So 445, that's a buy because price has shown us that it wants to move higher away from this inefficiency. We've moved away from that inefficiency. So we're moving higher. We've traded into this inefficiency here. Buy side imbalances and efficiency. Look at where we're closing. So I want to see price spooling higher. One problem though is I don't really like how we are trading weekly. We are weak around this area here. That's one thing that is really not working for me this morning. I expect inefficiencies to be left open, and I expect price to start spooling a lot more higher from the inefficiencies that I'm highlighting or that I'm looking at. But we're only tape reading, and that's it. So we've gone through that inefficiency. Let's see if we'll go below this level here. That's an hypothetical stop. What if we go below this low? So this was yesterday, not yesterday. Yeah, yesterday's low. So these are also a PDRA here. So from this low here, that was 455. We could now be in. We moved into 438. So 438, that is from 455 to 438. That is 18 points. 18 points low. It's crazy. So wild. So moving higher, we've gone back to 452 now. So for the first buy could have been here with our stop loss right here. And once we move above that inefficiency, then our stop come to break even. But then again, you get stopped out with this move lower. So we moved away from these buy side imbalances and efficiency. I've been looking at these very small inefficiency. We went through it, but you can see we've traded through it. And once we get below this low here, that trade is really not working. So normally I like looking for very deep discounts, and I define a deep discount as a current weekly low. I define a deep premium attack as a current weekly high. So those weekly levels have really a lot of strength. Instead of really running around searching for these daily highs, daily lows, you cannot really be predicting all daily highs and all daily lows. Nobody can be predicting that. But once we form a new weekly high on a day like Thursday or Friday, then we have a high chance of price running back into the range. Once we form a weekly low on a Monday or on a Tuesday, then we have a very high chance that price is gonna trend higher. So those are the things that I take advantage of. When price is in the middle of the range in regards to that weekly range, when we are in the range in regards to the weekly range, then it's really, for me, it's really kind of like a 50-50. And especially when it's not moving, it's 50-50. So that trade that I defined right here, risking those 21 points right there, that's a stop up. So we've gone back into that inefficiency again. So you can see where we're stopping at. We're stopping exactly on that cost corporation for that buy side balances and efficiency. I wanted to see price find support on this efficiency right here, but obviously you can see we've been trading with a lot of high resistance. So this basically is a high resistance liquidity run, and we can also go below this low here. But so far, this is the daily low for today that has currently been formed. This daily low, we've gone below yesterday's low. We've gone to a very, very deep discount. Actually, we've also gone below Wednesday's low. So we've taken two pools of liquidity pools out. So these are a very deep discount in regards to the daily range and in regards to to this sessions range. So it's a very deep discount, but price is not really reacting like it wants to move higher from that discount. So it's problematic. It's problematic. So we've traded back into this buy side imbalances and efficiency. Let's see if we'll start spooling higher again or we'll start trading into this low. If you look at a 15-minute chart or a 1-hour chart, and if you look at US 500, actually, I talked about how we can trade back into that kind of new week opening up. If you look at NAS 100, this 15-minute chart is not really looking like it wants to trade higher. This is troublesome price action. Same thing in US 500. I talked about how you can trade into this new week opening up. So we're gonna have a very difficult trading session today. If we're gonna be trading, it's a high resistance security run today. So we've taken this high here, we've ran higher, taken out this high here, and you can see we're trading lower. So we've gone even through this buy side balances and efficiency. And let's see how price will behave after it goes below this low. So we're back to 6,453. In NAS1, we're back to 23,415. So US 500, I think we're gonna go below this low, that low below 6,449. That's around 450. We're gonna go below this low, and then after we go below this low, then I'm gonna be kind of like looking for higher prices to start trading into these new week opening gaps. So I can still, I'm still anticipating this low to be taken out. So we're back into this constant encouragement, and there we go. We've ran that low, just like I've said it. So let's look at a 15-minute chart and then see what this complete DRA is there next on price. This buy side imbalances and efficiency from last week Friday, that's where we're trading into now. So we've gone through this current new week opening gap. We've gone through this last week's new week opening gap. We're now trading into Wednesday's low, and then we're gonna see how we trade into these buy side imbalances and efficiency. That's the next PDRA that is online in US 500. So you can clearly see we've gone below that low. Very interesting price action. So in NAS 100, we've traded through that buy side imbalances and efficiency. You can see where we closed here. That is weakness. We've gone below this low here, and price does not really look like it wants to start trading higher. So I'm looking at this low here. That's the next drawn liquidity. That is below 23,380. So 380 is the next sell side. We're trading at 390.94. We're gonna go below 380. So US 500, we've gone through this current new week opening gap. Beautiful. Boom, we've ran that low out. So let's see whether we'll have something like an inversion fair value gap here. But this kind of price action here is not the one that really welcomes a PDRA in the market. Is that stop on low that keeps price moving lower and lower and lower and lower. So 23,380 is now. So we're trading inside the second macro of this session. Let me annotate this here. We are trading lower. We are 2 minutes and some seconds into this second macro of this session. So I still like this buy side. I still am vouching for this buy side. I still want to see price start to move higher. So US 500, I like the way we've gone through this new week opening gap and we're trading below them. So I want to see price again starting to spool into these new week opening gaps. So let's look at a 15-minute chart for NAS 100. We've gone below this low here. Interesting. US 500, very, very weak prices, right? Inside this Friday New York session. So we've touched that 15-minute buy-side balances and efficiency in US 500. That's a very deep discount PDRA in today's price action. So let's see if we'll start moving higher. Well, US 500, we started moving into this last week's new week opening gap. Very interesting. Look at that closing price right there. Look at that opening price, and then it starts moving higher. Interesting, right? Now 100, we've gone below this here. This is now the current daily low. We're trading at a deep discount. So let's see if we'll start spooling higher. Well, this is interesting. US 500, we've gone through this new week opening gap. We're trading on top of the constant encroachment. So I'm looking at this inefficiency here still. So this can be that kind of price swing that forms a breaker. So from this low here to this high, and then we go below that low. It's running after this sell side, and then maybe we'll get to go above this high here and this buy side until proven otherwise. So we are stuck at 23,385. If we close this candlestick here on the low, we would have formed a swing high here, and then we'll see if they'll try and buy this one. So today, throughout the silver bullet time period, we've not really had any interesting price action. We've just been inside a consolidation, and sometimes it's just like that. So from where we opened up around 23,600, we are down 200 points plus lower. Very interesting. So we're remaining 2 minutes, and then this silver bullet hour will be done, and then we'll move into the London close time period. So 380s, now we're trading at 380s, 379, 378. US 500, we're trading at 449s again, 450s. That is last week's new week opening gap. Very interesting. So we're going to close up at the end of this macro here. If I don't really see anything at the end of this macro, then we're gonna be closing up this tape reading study for today. My OCD is flaring. I want everything to be perfect. Perfecto. Interesting. So we're gonna form a swing low here. Beautiful swing low. So let's see if we start spooling higher. We've gone below this low here one more time, and this is now the current daily low. So if we look at a 15-minute chart, it's not really interesting. Normally, when I want to go short or long, I normally want to see a 15-minute swing low if I'm going long. And when I'm going short, most times when my shorts are profitable, I'm seeing a swing high. Until it was the other day on, I think it was on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday is when I sold the past present Fevalica before I went to train. And then coming up in the afternoon session, I was looking at a swing high that was formed in the afternoon session and a new daily high, and I was trying to short that, but we were really bullish, and I was stopped out on I was stopped out on a profit. It's crazy. So swing highs on a 15-minute chart don't really indicate anything. We can form a swing high and still go higher. But best case scenario, when I want to go short, I want to see a swing high on a 15-minute time frame. When was it? It was on Monday. Monday is when we had a buy and sell model that went into the close and even the Asian session. There's a very nice swing high in the going into the close of the session, and we had a very nice sell. It was really a very huge high resistance equity run consolidation, but I was selling at a low risk sell in a market maker sell model. So we finished this silver bullet hour right here with a very nice swing low here, and we're moving higher. So I'm looking at these very small buy-side imbalances and efficiency, and we'll see if these inefficiency will be used to facilitate a run into these ranges here. So my interest again goes back into this inefficiency. I want to see how price will behave in this inefficiency here. Let's look at US 500. So US 500, we've gone through this level here. I think we're gonna have a very difficult time going through this US 500 range because of these new week opening gaps. I don't really like it when they are closed like this because most likely we're gonna have a high resistance liquidity run. So I've talked about this inefficiency here that is right here. So let me delete this actually. Now that I know the silver bullet time period is up. So I've talked about this inefficiency, and I've said let's see if it will use this inefficiency to facilitate a run into this BC and then maybe into this high. But you can see how slow price action is. It's very, very slow. So we're back to 23,400, back to 6,453. So let's look at this here. Let me annotate this here with the line. This level here. Just use that tail blow for today. And then I'm also looking at these now. So we barely touched it, and we're moving higher now. So US 500, we've gone back into this inefficiency from 520 today. So we're remaining with 5 minutes until this macro time period here comes to an end. And then I'll give a few remarks about what I'm really anticipating, even going into next week. And then I'll close this up. So these are very, very small candlesticks here. This is really difficult to really prove to me that we're going to trade a lot more higher. This can easily overlap this price action here and even start trading to this inefficiency once more. So we're trading at 399, 400, and US 500 we're trading at 450s. I think they use those big figure and that middle figure to facilitate their buys and then take it a lot more higher. So 406, 47, very, very slow price action, high resistance liquidity run. 6,455. We are so close. We are coming to the close of this second mark on this silver bullet time period. So we're getting into London close. We're actually in the London close hour. So we've traded higher. I'm looking at these buy side balances and efficiency here still. So if you look at US 500, we managed to get support from this buy side balance here. If you look at this right here, we've just touched the low of this inefficiency and we've gone higher. We managed to go higher. Very, very nice reaction there. NAS 100, we've also touched. Look at that closing price for that candlestick right there. Beautiful. And right now I want to see higher pricing, trading into the high of these bicep balances and efficiency. So we have another inefficiency here. Let's watch this closely. So we've just touched it. Look at the way we are reacting higher. It's interesting. Look at US 500. We've charged the upper portion of that inefficiency again. We're trading higher. Beautiful run higher. So from this candlestick low here, that is 415.9, and then this price action, this candlestick here ran into 414.7. So 415.9, 414.7. That's like 1 point exactly. And now we are running higher. So this macro has come to an end. I don't really think I'll be more interested in anything here going forward. So I want to look at a weekly chart, and then a weekly chart and a monthly chart, because today is the last day of August, and this August has really been difficult. Honestly speaking, it has really been difficult. So I will try to predict what I'll be anticipating going into next week, going into the next month, and honestly speaking, most September's normally price action runs higher. In the month of September, going into October, November, and December, normally price runs higher. There's a very high possibility that price will have bullish prices in the months of September, October, going into the end of the year, and even going into the start of the new year. So let's look at Nasdaq briefly. So if we finish this candlestick here at 615, that would be a bullish candle. I mean, a swing low here at a very critical point, at a very near the daily low. So I'll be anticipating higher pricing. So in that regard, let's first start with the weekly chart. So if you look at this here, this week has been very, very crazy, very, very difficult week. Of course, we're trading below the opening price. We're trading at a discount. So we had this swing high here after we closed last week. My mind was like, obviously we're trading at a very deep premium, because if you look at the weekly range, so far we're trading at the yearly high. We're trading close to the yearly high. So it's really difficult to be anticipating a lot more higher prices. But if you go back to a monthly chart, it's clear that we are having higher prices. But these higher prices, if you look at the bodies here, the bodies are going forward. The bodies are really reducing in size. So this is can be meaning one or two things. Price can still go higher. I'm not really saying that we're going to have lower prices in September. We can still go higher because seasonal tendencies, and if you look at what most September, October going into the end of the year has been doing, we've been really bullish. We've been really bullish almost every year. We're really bullish, apart from 2022. 2022 was crazy. But if you look at October and November in 2022, it was also bullish. But mostly, price is normally bullish going into the end of the year and going into the start of the new year. So I will be still anticipating higher prices, but going forward on the weekly chart, I can be anticipating down close candles. Maybe we run into this inefficiency. If we lose this inefficiency, then we'll be running a lot more lower. But so far, we're trading above this candlestick here, this down close candlestick here. So I'm still anticipating higher prices. I'm still anticipating higher prices, even though we have one candlestick here, and this candlestick here is gonna end up bearish. Going into September, I'm still anticipating higher prices. So let's look at US 500 monthly chart. US 500. This is really a moderate candlestick here on the monthly. So we had this swing low here from March, April, and May, and then you can see how May, June had a very nice bullish candlestick, and July, 2 months, very nice big candlestick that are bullish. So we're gonna finish August with a bullish candlestick, and I'm anticipating going into September also a bullish candlestick. So this monthly high is very, very important going forward. Weekly chart, US 500 has not really formed a swing high, just like NAS 100 has done. So this is not really giving me any reason to be going short. So I'm still anticipating higher prices going into the new month. Going into next week, I'm still anticipating higher prices, unless proven otherwise. Unless we beat this cost encroachment for this, not really cost encroachment, but this is the mean threshold of this down close candle here. So if we go past this down close candle, then obviously we'll be trading into this buy side imbalances and efficiency. So that's really it. I think I've talked about what I'll be anticipating going forward. And right now inside this session, if you look at this 4-hour time frame, we're neither trading at this premium or this, not this discount. So we're trading inside this range. And who knows where the close is gonna be? Who knows where the close is gonna be? So we're back into this inefficiency here. You can see how price is consolidating inside this inefficiency. Let's extend this inefficiency out in time. So right there. So I have this buy side here. I want to see price go into this high here. Plus this high here. I want to see price run higher into this high. So I was really trying to look for a buy, silver bullet buy here, but we never got that because we went a little bit higher, but eventually we had this price win that takes out all these lows here. So we are back into this inefficiency here. We can anticipate a buy from this inefficiency, but price must show me that it wants to go higher. So far, I've not really got any feedback that the price wants to go higher. One thing that is preventing from price running higher is US 500. We are having a very difficult time because we're trading inside two new week opening gaps. So that ideally is gonna present a very high resistance liquidity run. So ideally, we opened up and we started running lower. Obviously, I wanted to see price trading into these new week opening gaps, and we formed the current daily low right here. So we've traded into this 15-minute buys and balances and efficiency. We found support here. You can see here we started trading higher. We went through last week's new week opening gap, and then we're back into this buys and balances and efficiency that I was anticipating a buy in the silver bullet time period, but I've explained why it's a high resistance liquidity run. I've explained why we're not really interested in price today. And you can see if I were to be a buyer today, so far I could have been stopped out with the Nasdaq trying to buy this inefficiency here, and a stop out here. Try to buy here, stop here, eventually you get stopped out here if you don't really bring a stop to break even. So I think that's really it for today. I don't really have anything a lot more to say. We were only looking at this silver bullet time period, and you can see nothing really has been important, just like I anticipated it to be. So that's really it until next time. Adios.